Rico Gang, welcome back to my channel. By the end of this video, you will completely understand the risks and the rewards of sneaker bot, as well understand how a sneaker bot can just completely accelerate your sneaker reselling game. So I'm also going to cover some brief costs of some bots and some of the things just overall surrounding using a bot. Alright, okay, so first let's address why there's all of a sudden interest in sneaker bots. You probably tried to cop the Travis or any limited shoe and it sold out within minutes and sometimes even seconds. Now, most people are aware that bots are mostly the reason why, and they don't know how it works. They just know that the bots are taking all the sneakers, and that's exactly what I'm gonna break down to you today. All right, so I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. There's bots that specialize in Shopify sites like Kith, Bodega, Shop Nice Kicks. Some bots specialize in foot sites like Foot Locker or Champs. There's bots that specialize in Supreme, Walmart, and so on and so forth. There's AIO bots, which basically means all-in-one bots that pretty much cover all of them. See, the ultimate core in the way bots really work are bots are designed to get more checkouts faster than the average human can get one checkout. And the most common question I get surrounding bots is, how do bots help me get multiple pairs? And here's how. No matter what bot you use, botting starts with building profiles. That's the way that I like to explain it to people. And think of these profiles as each person with their own credit card, debit card, address, and all of that. So yes, to bot, you definitely are gonna need multiple card numbers. But to keep it simple, let's say you got 4 cards, right? Then at this point, you can make 4 billing profiles. And like I said, each profile has its own address, even if it's all just different variations of your address, email address, phone number, all that stuff. Now, with these 4 profiles, you can assign tasks to each one of these profiles. For examples, if you had the proxies for it, which we'll get into proxies later, you can assign each profile, let's say 100 tasks, just to keep it simple. Just for your knowledge though, if you had the computer space for it, you can assign 1,000,000 tasks per billing profile. But in this example, we're gonna use 100 tasks per profile, which we have 4 profiles. So that's a total of 400 tasks. You use proxies to mask your IP address, right? Because think of your IP address as an identity as well, and you're actually gonna need multiple identities in order to successfully bot and get multiple pairs. And don't worry, this isn't any scam type stuff, not actual identities. Once again, proxies are basically IP address identity. So to kind of put that all into perspective, you trying on one device is looked at as just one entry on one IP address, and even though you're not botting, that would be equivalent to just one task. So you can really see how botting really ups your chances. So let's talk about the cons of botting first. The number one con about sneaker botting, honestly, is that it's extremely costly, bro. And I'm talking about everything about sneaker botting is costly. First off, the cheapest sneaker bot that you're looking at will give you a remote chance to cop is about $350, and I don't know about you, but to me that ain't cheap. But on the flip side, the most costly bot I've ever seen is going for about $20,000. Now, of course, there's bots priced anywhere from that $350 to that $20,000 that I just told you about, and a more realistic range is more to $500 to $5,000. Also, something else that costs money involving sneaker botting: servers. You should probably use a server if you want to really have a really fast setup, and once again, these cost money. Now, I want to add, you don't have to have a server, but once again, servers dramatically increase your bot's performance, because what servers are basically virtual machines that have higher specs than the machine you might be running in front of you. You can run more tasks, and your proxies are just way faster on servers. Also, a lot of people use different servers located in different places because speed matters when you're using bots, right? So if I know that Foot Locker server is located in a specific place, I'll just get a server, if not in that same place, at least close to that place, because that's gonna ping faster than if I was to do it from here from Texas and it was in, let's say, Virginia. Also, proxies cost money. And once again, proxies are basically just alternate IP addresses. You're gonna need a bunch of them. You usually buy proxies in gigabyte and like memory type format, right? So you might buy 5 gigabytes on a plan, right? And you can generate thousands of proxies. You use these proxies, it's just like cell phone usage. You use this data, then if you have 25 gigs a month, you're gonna use that until you can't anymore. It's the same with residential proxies, at least. You also have ISP proxies. Now, I'm not trying to get into an in-depth proxy tutorial. I will on another video if y'all let me know in the comments. But those type of proxies you buy in bundles, 25 25, 50, 100, 500, whatever. But now the difference in ISPs and resis are resis use data and ISPs are sort of unlimited. You think of those as unlimited and they're typically faster. Of course, most of the time cost more. With all of that said, you're usually down $1,500 to $2,000 if you're using a pro bot, if you're using a pro setup before you even cop your first sneaker. Which takes me to my next con, and that is, for all that money you're spending, botting is not a guaranteed cop. For all the money you spend, you would think it's guaranteed, but bro, it is not. See, learning how to navigate the bot is the first hurdle, but the very next is learning a proper setup. And the thing about that is even that's tricky because what works for you might not work for me and vice versa. And the reason why that is because there's so many moving parts when it comes to botting. And you're competing with thousands of other botters. So there is no guarantee that you'll even hit on any sneakers. I do want to add though is that the more you pay for a bot, then of course you have a better chance. However, I also want to let you know this. I'm almost 100% convinced that an experienced botter could cook more with a lesser bot than a beginner could with a $5,000 bot. And trust me, I'm a living witness of that. I've rented a $5,000 bot because yes, you can rent bots. I rented a $5,000 bot and I did not cop anything, bro. All L's. The next con is botting is extremely time consuming. See, if it's a big release and you're going all in, which means you're going for every single drop, that means number one, you're having to set up for hours the night before. And on top of that, if you're on the West Coast, sneakers drop as early as 3 a.m. on some drops. And large setups once again take time. And also drops are happening throughout the whole morning. So you're really gonna have to block off about as early as I just said all the way to like maybe 2 p.m. in the afternoon, depending on where you are, to just bot and focus on that because it is time consuming and it does require every ounce of your attention. And honestly, that's the only real cons about sneaker botting, is that it's not guaranteed, it's a super costly money pit, difficult to learn, and extremely time consuming. But if you anything like me, that wasn't enough to scare me away, right? And now let's go over some of the pros and benefits. The number one pro is that bots are way faster than humans. The average person has to insert their card details, shipping address, verify the CVC number, and do all of that stuff, right? Solve captures, all that stuff. Bots do it all automatically, and some bots even solve captures for you. And once again, this is all being done hundreds and thousands of times faster than a human can do it once. The next benefit is the obvious, being able to cop multiple pairs. Remember earlier when I talked about how botting is task-based, right? So going back to the example, let's say we got those same 400 tasks, right? 100 tasks per the 4 profiles that we got. If your address is properly jigged, which basically means slightly modified so it's not detected but still recognizable as your address, or even if you're using separate addresses. Even if you just get a 1% conversion rate, that's a total of 4 checkouts, right? And that's 4 more checkouts than the average person. Another benefit of botting, and that's underrated, is being able to feast on restocks and shock drops. And see, honestly, most people don't even know about restocks, right? And honestly, even if they did, manual users really don't stand a chance. And that's because restocks aren't publicly announced. Restocks are usually detected by the software, by bots, right, that are monitoring it and watching it and saying, oh, wait a minute, there was 3 checkouts within the last minute, let's rush over there's a restock. Shock drops is crazy because shock drops were actually made to go against botters, but it actually only benefits botters because once again, the minute it's live and you don't tell anyone it's coming out, the minute it's live, the botters are on it because they're monitoring, they're looking for this stuff. So that's definitely a pro about just being a botter, period. The main pro is what it can do for your resale business. If you have the grit to stick it out and get good at it, having a chance on the sneakers app and maybe hitting on the Foot Lockers app, to being able to really pencil in the fact that you're gonna be able to get a pair of sneakers on release day. And you're copying more, that means you're selling more. It simply just propels your sneaker business in obvious ways and honestly sort of makes you a sneaker plug. Now, I do a little botting here and there, right? And I want to run my bots for you. I want to help people cop sneakers and use what I know to benefit my subs. So if you want me to run my bots for you, first, hit the subscribe button. Second, go to the link in my bio and join my Discord. I have a series where I'm turning $100 to $10,000, all reselling sneakers and doing a little botting. Meet me over in that series. Love everybody out there. Thanks for your time. Let's get it.